Hey, good Thursday morning, everyone. Who have we got in so far? We have the very famous bum crack picker, Lag of Lagville, Cindy Y of the Why Not, Cindy Why Not. What's going on? Absolutely nothing here. My mind is a complete blank. I'm like, let's start this day over. Hey, Anissa. One good thing about the morning show, though, seems to be you don't have to have a topic because one always just kind of comes up. Cool finds this week. Haven't been looking. I did buy 3 lots at the local auction. I call it the local auction. It's an hour and 15-minute drive. But I bought a whole bunch of used military surplus stuff. And I got a Casio keyboard. And I have no idea how I'm going to ship that sucker. I don't even know if it works. I think the auction house said that it works. And in comes Diane Matthews. Good morning. And in comes Mr. Sadie. So yeah, I don't need to source for like 3 months at the rate I list. I average maybe 4 or 5 listings a day. At the rate I list, I've probably got enough inventory to last for at the very least 3 months. In fact, 3 years. I probably shouldn't source anything. Hey, Tracy. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I have no co-host. I guess Sally's still in bed. She's a hard-working girl. Let's see, I'll put the link in the side chat if anybody wants to come on and give me somebody to yak at. Give you guys somebody interesting to see besides me. I think all you folks are interesting. Everybody does things differently, even though we do the same thing. You don't go picking, so yeah, I don't know how you do it. Like I would love to know your source for stuff, but then that would be nosy, and I wouldn't call me a nosy person. I'm not obnoxious about it, but I am curious. I have no idea, Stacker, what we're talking about. We actually have 0 topic. Oh, Lag and I were kind of talking a little bit about any good new finds. You've got a fairly new storage unit you've gotten, right, Sarcastic? I can't wait to see Sarcastic's newest video about his storage unit adventures.
Oh, yeah.
Craig's here. We've got a bunch of cool, neat, interesting people in the side chat.
Yeah, you guys are.
There's
Hey, you
Hank.
know who I met last night?
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Oh, I couldn't find it.
It was on
I was
Facebook.
looking.
It was on Nikki's Facebook.
Okay, I gotta go straight to her Facebook then. Yeah, she surprised the hell out of me.
Oh my gosh. You look surprised in that picture.
she she walked in and I was coming out of the cooler and she she freaking started walking down the aisle and I was like, I know her. It
That's
was
the big
cool.
topic for today. So tell us the whole story. Nikki
Well,
came to your place of work.
yeah,
How
yeah.
cool.
She was just like she was just figured I'll just go surprise her at work. And then she like when she walked in, she looked in the office and there's another girl that was working with me last night. I was training and she's like, "Oh, dang it, that's not her." And then she come walking down the aisle and I'm like, "Hey." I just I was like, I know her. I'm like, oh my God, it's Nikki. It was crazy,
That's,
but good.
isn't it surprising but real fun at the same
Yeah,
time? That
yeah.
reminds me,
I was,
Tracy's over there in the side chat. I was at a garage sale in North Austin and just shopping away. Got my head down looking at items,
yeah.
and I hear this pretty little sing-songy voice go, Todd? And I turn around, there's Tracy Park in the flesh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, wow. So we got a little picture together. There's Tommy.
Where I have like I have
Tommy.
two or three friends that are Nikki. She has a couple of different Facebooks.
That's a good
I'm
one.
like trying to find her the right one.
Yeah. So, who took the picture of you two? Was it a selfie or did you get somebody there to take your picture with Nikki?
No, she took it.
Cool. I didn't realize that she was that much taller than you. Or is she standing on a box?
No, she's not standing on a box.
Or are you just really short?
I'm super short.
See, I've never in person met you or Nikki, so
Okay.
you kind of
Now,
the top of your head was kind of like even with her top of her shoulder. It was you're quite a bit not as tall as she is, or maybe she's just way tall. I don't know.
I think she's probably about 5'5", 5'6", maybe. And
Wow,
I'm only maybe 5 foot 5'1". I've been told I'm 5'1", but
yeah,
um
that's not tall.
no. I'm pretty short. And see, Valerie's way taller than me. She takes after our dad. Our dad was oh he is her dad. Uh
Yes.
he's he's 6 foot, but our mom was our mom was probably 5'1", 5 foot
Yeah.
two.
Oh,
No,
it's
I'm like super short.
see, I knew Tracy was tall, but then you meet her in person, and I'm 6 foot tall, and I was just looking her straight in the eyes. She is just almost exactly the same height as me.
Wow. How tall are you, Todd?
I'm just right at 6 foot.
Are you? Yeah.
I used to be almost 6'1", but I've kind of crumbled in my old age. I'm,
Mike says, funny how that is. I thought Lonnie was like 5'8" for a while till I saw him standing next to John.
yeah, Lonnie's tall. Lag is 6'5". Oh my gosh,
Woo!
that's tall.
I dated a guy who was 7'4" at one time. 7'4". The top of my head came up to like his chest.
Good grief.
He was like,
He was how tall?
he was 7'4". Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. He was super, super tall. he
I've
had
got
to
a
like
nephew-in-law that is six
bend
foot.
over halfway to like kiss me.
Good grief.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's 7'4". 7 foot is out there, but
Yeah.
4 inches above 7 feet. Good God.
And this is I'm 3'9", part of the lollipop gang.
And are you that short? I mean, you can't be 3'9", but
Are you really?
are you a short person really?
I mean, I would think like probably like 5 foot or something, just by the pictures.
That's crazy. Texas foul.
That is crazy sarcastic. Oh my
Five
gosh.
foot six. That's not real short or real tall.
Should be a smart ass. Well, see, that I'm part of the lollipop gang. Yeah, see, I think in 20 I had surgery like in 2015, and I had to go through all the testing and everything first and all that, and they measured me and said I was 5'1", and I'm like, "Really?" Because I thought I was shorter than that. And so I think I shrink, and it just depends on how my back is at that time, because my back sometimes is pretty bad and then sometimes it's okay. And I think that has a lot depending on my height.
You know what? It's a proven fact that people who are thought of as good looking make more money in life than people who are thought of as not good looking.
Mm,
I read a whole
I don't
article
think
about that.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
So,
I think it has to do with your self-esteem.
yeah. And then, yeah, I'm not saying the effects of being good looking or not good looking on self esteem, but on the other hand, I wonder if being taller or shorter would make you
Richer or poorer.
richer or poorer on average.
Mm.
I have not read anything on that.
I forgot that I sent that to Nikki. It's a picture of Patrick Swayze, and like it's like the ghost scene where um oh, what's her name is sitting in front of him and
Making pottery, yeah.
making pottery. It's that scene, but they're instead of making pottery, they're making tortillas, or not tortillas, but what are they called? Um what are they called? the 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 stuff that's wrapped in the corn husks.
Tamales.
Tamales. So they're wrapping tamales. So they have all the stuff in front of them to make tamales, and they're putting the mesa on the mesa on the husk. And I said, I know, it's Patrick Swayze, but still, Nikki, don't eat the husk. Because when Nikki first tried tamales,
Yeah.
she ate the husk. And then she's like, I really don't like them.
She told
Like,
that story several years ago, and it was so
I
funny.
know,
She
I
was getting
know.
the husk in her teeth and stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're not supposed to eat that part. You're supposed to unwrap it and eat
She
it.
probably didn't need any more fiber in her diet for 2 weeks.
Oh my God. That girl's hilarious.
I don't guess corn husks are toxic or anything, but
No.
golly, can you imagine trying to digest one of those suckers?
It's going to come out the same way it went in.
Cha-ching!
Oh, get it. I know. I got to stop talking and start shipping because I have 6 going out right now.
I just sold a projector lamp.
Oh, good job. Yeah, I have to send out 6. I might just end up going to the freaking post office, being done with it, because I don't know if I can get.
Beth is here. We got a lot of interesting people. There's Dwayne.
Hi, Beth. Hi, Dwayne.
That's one of the great things about the morning show. I'm just all boring by myself, but then all these interesting people come on and
I know.
talk to us. And the link is up there in the chat if anybody wants to come on. And
I wish I could see every one of you in person. That's for sure.
yeah, there's very few that I've met in person.
Well, me too. The only people that I've met is Grandma Magic Classics, Mary,
hmm
and Nikki.
Yeah, I have met Beth. I have met Valerie. I have met Texas Val. That was all in
Yep.
that was all in one trip. I met Cyber Curtain Twitcher. He comes in the morning chat sometimes. I think that's
What's the
about
thing
it.
about blue crabs, Mike?
They're tasty. What do you mean?
Blue crabs?
What did he say about them?
I don't think I've ever had them. Yeah, you met Dwayne and his wife, right? Heather.
hmm Liz, you can't handle me in person. It's like you can't handle the truth.
Oh, Liz, I could. We would probably get along just great, sister. Because you and I are both crazy. Oh, Scott said he met a lot of people, but most of them he didn't know them, but they know him.
Well, that's easy because Scott's got a fairly large YouTube channel, and I feel like I know Scott way better than probably he knows anything about me,
Yeah.
just because he's put so much of his journey on YouTube and
hmm
he's open. And if there's one thing Scott is, he's honest. I think. I don't
I
think
get
I've
that
ever
from him.
heard. I
I
don't
get that
think.
from him.
Yeah, I
That's
don't think I've ever heard Scott lie about anything.
no, me neither.
I can't lie about anything. I just people look at me when I'm trying to tell a lie and they go, "You're lying." I'm not a good liar.
Nikki was telling me last night. She said that that's happened to her before, to where somebody came up to her. Well, somebody at the library was staring at her, and she couldn't figure out what this lady was looking at, And all of a sudden, she came up to her and she's like, "Hey, how you doing? How's your sales been?" And started talking to her about selling on eBay. And Nikki's like, "I don't know how this lady knows that I sell on eBay. That's freaking weird." And
Hmm.
and she said, "Oh, I watch you on YouTube, and you're the reason why I moved up here." Nikki's like, "Oh God, I got a stalker."
But you know how some YouTubers will put on a garage sale video and in the title, and it's just a little bit of clickbait. I understand why they do it, but the greatest garage sale of my lifetime or something like that, and then they show, yeah, they got some good stuff, but you go, this was then in the comments,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm a little rude to them and say, this was your best. You're gonna make maybe $400 off the items you got here, and I'm like,
I said crab, not crap.
crap legs, crap, blue craps. If you eat the blue Skittles, then yes, your crap will be blue.
I eat all the Skittles.
I've done it before. Maybe it's not Skittles. What is it? What's the candy you eat?
M&Ms.
But then your crap turns the color of the dye
Oh,
that's in the candy.
I'm not sure.
Sorry, squirrel. There's Cyber. I've met him.
Hi, Cyber.
We had lunch together in London, England, and our
There's a lady
wives were
with the
there.
hair. That's funny.
There's the bearded. Speaking of interesting people,
So I have a question for you guys. How many Holy Grail items are there at yard sales? Because you look at some of these YouTube channels that are bigger for garage sales, and they've got every other video is some other Holy Grail item. I'm like, how many are out there? I mean,
You know
I
what?
know. I
For
to me
me,
it's mostly clickbait to get you to watch their video, which I don't see why they do it. Most of the people who put up videos like that have pretty large channels. I don't see why they gotta hype it
so
up like that.
so the first video with Chad, I put that in there just because Chad found a $17,000 watch for $1.
Yeah, that's a holy grail. That's an
that
actual
is
holy. You were not being dishonest about that.
no.
That's what I'm saying.
When I tell you that Chad could hardly speak and I thought he was having a stroke,
That's actual
he kept
true.
saying Omega. I'm like, all right, Chad, what the hell's Omega?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got Mike put up on Instagram some crazy finds this week.
Did
He
he
got
sell
like
that watch yet?
Mike got like 3 pounds of silver.
So he's been listing more stuff. The biggest, the watch made the video, but the biggest thing he got, Lonnie gave him a bunch of watch parts,
Oh,
and that's the reason why Lonnie was stopping through there. And this was old Rolex, old Seiko, old all kinds of parts from somebody that Lonnie got. Lonnie's had for years, and just never listed it because everybody can attest. If you don't have any interest in it, it's hard as hell to list it just for money, especially if it's tedious, boring, and you got to look it up. There's only one person I know who was good at that, and he's no longer with us. Dusty was the best at that. He didn't care what it was; he could list it.
Hmm.
Most people don't have that ability.
yeah.
So, but he's been listing some of that stuff. He's sold, you know, I've gotten a few texts saying, "Look what was in that lot. I've already sold it." Um, Okay, so Mike doesn't make videos, but I'm telling you, he's the only one I know who would be legitimately could list he finds Holy Grail items. Mike, you're the best picker I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finds stuff almost every day, it seems like.
Yeah. He saw that modern art print for how much? 2,000?
That's crazy.
And all the glass and all the other stuff that he finds, and I look at it and go, I would have walked right by it. Most everything he picks up is worth a fortune.
Yeah.
I tell you, Holy Grail is something I could buy for $20 and sell for $800. You know, that's Holy Grail to me. You know, I could pay a bill for that. That money. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, there needs to be some kind of rule. We need to come up with a rule of what constitutes a Holy Grail.
Yep.
Yeah, because people are going to follow that, Scott. Yeah.
Look at this.
I'm not big. I don't like.
This is Mike's one-day haul from the thrift shops. There's like $3,000 worth of stuff here.
Yeah.
He got that in one day out thrifting. That's like a $2,000 painting. He's got like $750 worth of silver. He's got Gucci. He's got Coach. And then the glass things. God, how does he do that?
It's crazy.
I wonder that a lot. I wonder how he finds so much quality merchant. You know, you see a lot of pictures he puts on Instagram, and you just wonder, how does he find such good stuff? And a lot of it's just knowledge and putting yourself out there, getting out there and looking for it.
Jeez.
The crazy card is Mike. Surely you knew that.
Yeah, Mike the crazy card.
Yeah.
Because on the same trip that I went down there, I found electronics that were worth $500. I found printers and other stuff that are worth the same amount. But those are not things like a watch and a mega watch, So I bought retail arbitrage on the way down there that I've already sold most of that stuff. I picked up a bunch of boring stuff where Chad, he had a $400 watch. We didn't consider that a Holy Grail. That was just a nice Seiko.
I love the scene where he's showing all that stuff to those two ladies at the garage sale.
Man, that was
hilarious.
And the camera died at the very end, so she actually had never seen a GT bike, so she went all the way out to the van just to look at the.
Oh, did she go out?
Yeah, to look at the BMX bike. Yep.
Yeah, my favorite scene from that video you did was Chad forgot his wallet or his money in the car, and so the lady said, so he said, "Will you hold this stuff while I go get my money?" And she said, "Yeah, you can leave that watch as down payment, or you can leave that watch with me while you go get your money." And Chad, oh, that was hilarious.
And then they wouldn't take money for it, and so Chad, the whole time, even after the camera was off, he gave her the money again and jumped in the van. And he's like, "I'm not taking it back," and he kept rolling the window till it was just cracked, so he could still talk to her. But he's like, "You can't ruin my good karma. I'm having too good a day. You can't ruin my karma."
Yeah, that was funny.
So the reason why he got that watch for so cheap was because they said it didn't work.
No, it was. So this was like an estate sale / yard sale. That it was an inside house, an outside house, and it was just they didn't know what it was. It was just on a, those little round things that hold like bracelets and watches.
Mm-hmm.
It was just in the middle of one of those with 5 or 6 other watches.
Wow.
The one time I'd gotten hot at the yard sale before, and so I took the jacket off. So I had to take the camera off, take the jacket off, and I didn't put it back on. The one yard sale I needed it. It just happens that way, I guess.
Yeah.
But they didn't care. So when we walked up, there's these little Mexican ladies, and they're asking how much is the iPad, and the guy sold them every tablet he had for $1 each, 3 iPads and a couple of
Oh
Samsungs. I'm like,
my God.
they had the digital camera, everything that I wanted, they had. I'm like, really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would have had a heart attack for sure, Carol.
And then he got some other kind of military watch that day too. It's an English watch. It had a black band and it's a big square dial on it. He knew what it was. He said it was worth, I think, about $1,000.
Golly.
I think he paid 50 for that one.
Well, I sold a little lead crystal bowl for $46.
Somebody made a comment on that video saying that they had just watched somebody else's video and they went to that same yard sale and those ladies were talking about us.
Oh, I bet.
That's great.
Cool.
You know, we had a great time there. I ended up buying a peanuts cookie jar. I got to get it on my list today. I think it's worth about $125.
Oh, the peanuts one?
Yeah, I think it's worth. The last one sold for $125.
Yeah.
And they had 15. But that's just, a lot of people say you can't buy resellers stuff. That lady she thinks she said she had 4 booths that she put stuff in, and they were. So, but she didn't do online. So.
Golly.
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's incredible what you can find if you just go out and look.
That's a lot of it. Every area got different stuff, but you got to look for it. It's not going to come, hauling out of yard sales every Friday and Saturday. You got to go look for
it. Yeah.
Carol said you would have had a heart attack if you found that watch.
No, I would.
Yeah, Craig, I said peanuts, not peanuts.
I bought 3 huge totes of military surplus stuff at the auction on Sunday, and I think I spent $35 on all of it, and I will make like $400.
Yeah,
but the thing about it, that's location oriented because that auction is in the same town as Fort Hood, the world's largest army base. And so that kind of stuff is basically worthless there because everybody there already has that stuff.
Yeah, so Chad, we saw a lot of military stuff. I don't know that stuff very well, but he bought some. It was some kind of camo that goes over a vehicle. He said it was the older kind, which is the better than the new stuff they make. And it's one of those that has 4 poles on the end. You've probably seen it. It covers. It was big enough to cover a Humvee. And I had no clue what it is. It looked to me like it looked like a bag of leaves or something. I didn't have any idea what it was. And Chad's over, and I think he paid 60 for it. He hackled with that guy for a while, and it was worth saying. It was worth $500-$600, whatever it is.
Crazy.
But up here we've got a military base, but it's more of an ammo dump and a Redstone arsenal. You just don't see the military stuff that comes out of the arsenal.
Mike, it was listed, or it was it had a marking that said blue lead crystal Bohemian Sheck. And I looked that up and I found one just exactly like it. So that's what I did. But the one that was listed was bigger than mine. So I had to drop the price a little bit, but still got $46 for it.
Yeah, I was going to go to an estate sale this morning, and I decided I had too much stuff. I didn't want to get out of. I'm sitting there laying. Do I get out of bed? Do I get out of bed? And wait an hour and a half. I've got too much stuff. I slept in.
Yeah, I'm the king of too much stuff. But I'm going to the Lutheran rummage sale after the show, so.
Carol says I only sell cheap stuff. That way I don't need to know anything.
Who was it? Old Half Dollar. He's been in the side chat a bunch. He used to tease me that I sounded like Hank Hill.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he always teased me that I sold propane and propane products.
That's funny.
All right, let's see if any of my stuff got bids on it.
I sold a bunch of porcelain paints yesterday for $105.
Man,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
I was all excited. I woke up this morning and overnight I sold one of the cameras I picked up last weekend at the yard sales for $130 on Amazon until I realized mine's red and I stuck it on the black listing. I'm like, really? That is a weakness with Amazon is that if it's a parent listing, even though they add it to a black, they don't make them change the picture. So I listed on one that showed the red camera. I didn't see in parentheses at the very bottom it says black.
Uh-oh. You probably still made money.
Oh no, it's here. I hadn't sent it yet. I'm gonna have to cancel it and then relist it on the correct one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't want to return for being the wrong item sent anyway.
See, this is what's crazy though. When I click on the see, it shows a black one on the invoice, but when I click on that thing, it shows right up to the red one discontinued. It doesn't show. I know I listed it under the red one. How did it get to black?
All right, it's coffee time. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, let's look it up to the eighth one. I never even saw a black one. At least today started out better than yesterday. Yesterday I had to go to the dentist and they pulled a tooth. That was not a good way to start the day.
Yeah.
When the dentist tells you, okay, you've had a root canal, so there's not going to be a lot of pain. I've got it deadened pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it's like from here to like down here, I can't feel anything. He said, but you're going to feel some crackling. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I know when they took that tooth, it was horrible. It was like connected to my sinuses.
Ooh.
And so it was just awful.
He said, this is going to take longer than normal. I'm like, well, I've never had one pulled, so I don't know what normal is. He said, because we've got to save as much bone as possible. They're going to put in probably 3 to 4 months, they're going to put a post and then a crown on top of the post. But it has to heal up before.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no way that he could save that one. It like the way that because it broke, and like the way that it broke was, it was like pushed back, like the bottom half of it was pushed back, and so the top was like, it was horrible.
And the good thing is, I didn't need the pain medicine. He's like, this is going to hurt this afternoon and tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, Carol, I've got one on the other side that they did the same thing. So, but that one, for some reason, the tooth didn't need to come out, or maybe the tooth never came in. I don't forget how that one. But yeah, I've got one of the implants.
Yeah. I just know this one was horrible because I got, I almost got dry socket, and then, and there's also like bone fragments that were coming out.
Yeah, they said no straws, no swishing, none of that, nothing like that that'll to avoid the dry socket. I've heard that is like crazy painful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Took me like probably 2 weeks at least to heal from that. It was horrible. But you know what my best friend was those long tubes in plastic of like they're like juice that you freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And I would suck on those. And I even took them to work with me and stuff and kept them in the freezer at work. And they're like to keep the swelling down. That's what I had to use. Because if I didn't, it would just swell up and my face would be huge.
So Todd, how did you put coffee in a Diet Coke can?
This is the spitter, and this is the coffee. My old alma mater, West Texas State University. The Buffaloes.
Buffaloes.
No whiskey.
Whiskey.
If I had a dry socket or something that painful, I'd probably just stay high.
Jeez. Is Carol suffering? Is that what she did?
No, yesterday morning I had a tooth pulled.
Oh.
They're going to replace it with an implant. It'll take like 6 or 8 months to finish it.
Good grief. That's real cheap too, right?
Yeah, like $3,500.
I was born without wisdom teeth, Anessa.
I only had 2. It was weird. I only had wisdom teeth on the top.
I have none.
Cavity on the bottom.
I was born without it, and I think Valerie was also. What does that say?
Yeah.
Because I have plenty of wisdom, but it's usually from experience, from making bad decisions.
So, Sally, are you originally from Michigan, or did you move up there?
I'm still in Michigan.
Are you originally from Michigan?
I want to move to North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Yep.
How is Steve doing? Still selling? I talked to Steve last night. Steve was. Yes, he is still selling.
I have wisdom. Beth. But it's from experience.
Carol said that explains a lot.
Thanks a lot, Carol. Asshole. What do you know, lady?
Yeah, I'm just. You missed the
I met
top.
Nikki last night, Carol. I met Nikki last night.
When the dentist tells you there's going to be some snapping and crackling, that's not a good thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh. And you know what? Tooth pain is like something that.
Yeah, there was no pain.
You can't even compare it to like labor. Like it's different.
Yeah, there's absolutely no pain. Whether I already had a root canal and
yeah, I'm from California. Yeah. Yeah, but I moved to Michigan, and then I'm gonna plan on moving to North Carolina.
Yeah, my dad's family is from Michigan. That's why I was asking.
Oh.
There's still quite a few of them over there or up
I'm
there.
in northern lower peninsula.
Yeah, they're in Ypsilanti, and the original farmstead was right above Toledo, just barely into Michigan.
Ah.
A little bit of town called Deerfield. It only had like 600 people. There's not even a stop. There's not even a stoplight there. There's like a flashing stop sign, but that's it.
Right. That's kind of like our town a little bit. we have a couple of stoplights like further down, but pretty much, yeah. See, there's me and Nikki. I can't find the picture on Facebook.
It's in our morning. It's in our
Oh, it's in the
chat
resource
group.
squad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I met Nikki last night.
See, look,
I've known her for over 5 years, but yeah.
I can't believe you're that much shorter than Nikki. I didn't imagine
Yeah,
you two
I'm
being
kinda
that.
short.
It's a
That
cute
sounds
picture.
short.
It's a cute picture. Look, there's your walk-in
Yep.
refrigerator back there, and you just came walking out of there, and
Yeah.
Nikki was walking down the aisle toward you.
Yep.
That's great.
Doesn't Nikki live in Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's up there for a funeral or
Yeah, her aunt died, so she's here for her funeral, and then they're going back on Tuesday, so I'm gonna see her again on Tuesday. So I'm excited.
Wow. That sounds like a horror story, not nightmare cyber. Jeez.
Oh man. Yeah, that. Oh my gosh.
Let's just drill that tooth all the way down into the bone. Yeah.
Mm,
God.
yeah, that's horrible. Bye, Beth. Yeah, it's like no other kind of pain. It's different. Not even like labor can compare to that. It's just different. And there's like, you can numb it and all that stuff, but really it doesn't get fixed, until it gets completely fixed.
So Lag said the stock market rallied.
God, it's about time. Sheesh.
The first quarter of GDP, I think, was a disaster. So it's probably not going to rally long. Did I read that right? Down 1.4%.
Yeah, something like
Turning
that.
red.
It's green today, but that's not much of a rally. Of course, if it doesn't go down, that's almost considered a rally this year.
Mm.
I have, with my portfolio, I'm down about 15% of its value since the end of December.
And I got a feeling I'm not very optimistic on the second half either. I think we're going to take a beat in the second half.
There's just little to keep it up now, unless they do another one of those stupid stimulus payments.
But you look at the stock market and go, with the performance of these companies and everything being, it's smoke and mirrors. What's holding it up?
Well,
these companies are trading at ridiculous amounts of above their value.
Yeah. A bunch of the companies, though, are putting out good profit reports, though. But, yeah.
Yeah, oil companies.
Oil and tech companies are doing pretty good. Twitter stock went up when all this stuff was happening with Twitter and Elon.
Be very interesting to see. I'm optimistic. Twitter is you gotta actually do some reading to understand why he went after that. He fronted it by saying free speech, but it has an ability to be a payment system with that yellow or whatever that Jack attached to it before he left. I think that's going to be where the true value of.
Have you seen the list of people that are quitting Twitter?
Oh, really?
Oh, it's a who's who of flaming leftists. Oh, it's
But it's crazy, we're protesting that he says that he's going to for free speech. They want speech on there as long as nobody disagrees with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard he's also thinking about privatizing, which
Oh, no, he's definitely going to do that. I'm pretty sure because he's told the board once it's done, they're done.
Man.
They had some fishy jobs. I think they made about 350,000 or 400,000 apiece just for sitting on the board.
yeah, I may have a picture of who all's quitting. Yeah, here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, he made an interesting tweet yesterday saying that he'd be happy if 80% of people agreed and 20%, 10% on each side were mad as hell. He said he figured they would be about right.
Yeah, here's a picture of people that are quitting. I don't know if you can tell who some of the people are.
Let me see if the lawnmower man can get by my truck.
Yeah. There's your dad. He's quitting Twitter. Samuel Jackson. There's Obama. Good. There's Oprah.
You know why?
No, I mean Winfrey. Not Winfrey. Yeah, it's just almost a who's who of anyway. I don't know what everybody's politics are, but yeah. Yeah, and these, the ones quitting Twitter, they don't even know what its final composition is going to look like, and their voices and opinions will not be muted. So, hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave. If it's truly going to be an open platform now, why would anyone leave? They can't handle the truth, or they can't handle an opposing idea? Jeez.
I don't know.
But I did hear where the ex-president, is not going to be rejoining Twitter. Yeah, it's no longer propaganda. It'd be nice to see social media with no. Oh, there he is. Too bad society's quitting Twitter.
Oh, my dad. Wasn't he pretty? Don't we look alike?
I kind of would like to see his new movie about how he has Alzheimer's and they come up with a...
Yeah, I want to see that too. It sounds like a good story.
Temporary cure, and then he has to solve a murder before he loses his memory again.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a really good movie.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, that's the problem. Is all the big lies are crashing down now.
I didn't mean to get political this morning, but I thought it was funny, the list of people that are quitting Twitter. It's just...
Be interesting to see all the stuff they find at Twitter, the algorithms and everything that proves that know, that they've been one sided this whole time. Man, that's
Yeah,
loud.
it's such
Yeah, I
a
hear
big
that.
thing. It's such a big thing. Like that's what I was gonna say, Mike. Like being censored on Facebook, keeping from being able to say, this is what I believe, or I believe that this person is right by what they say. They're so censored in in social media that it's become like the big cover up, and then people are trying to have to get on other websites to be able to connect with people, and I just I don't know. I don't think it's right. That's why
See,
I don't post anything that's political.
see the thing we've gotten away from is this country is better when both sides work together, and for most people in the middle, and most people can agree a little bit here, a
Mhm.
little bit there. It's the
Hmm.
extremes on both sides. It doesn't matter which side it is. The extremes are always the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
hate to
it you're
I
right.
hate to I hate to say it, but the days of Bill Clinton were better than this by far.
I was
Mhm.
telling somebody that some young kid the other day. I'm like, you don't understand. You think Trump is he is not a conservative. He's his brand of Republican is. I said, go listen to Bill Clinton in the '90s, early Bill Clinton. Sounds just like Trump.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they're like, oh no way. I'm like, yeah, you need to study history. You don't understand. I actually I was actually alive back then, and uh,
Yeah.
I voted for Bill the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Beard is not rich. Beard is old. Doesn't want to mow his own grass.
Yeah, Mr. Says thought and opinion used to be the American way. That's that's me. Like I feel like my thoughts and opinions should matter. Like whenever I go to the polls, I think that should matter. I think that, when you have a conversation with somebody, it doesn't mean I hate your guts. It just means I don't agree with you, you know, and we could both walk away and everything will be fine. We could
See
still be
that you Sally, you touched on something that I've said for quite a while, and that's the big lie that if somebody disagrees with you, they hate you. That's 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 so
friends.
crazy. And the left has used that to if you don't agree with the alphabet, LG, whatever, you hate us.
Yeah,
Um, my mother is lesbian, and I don't agree with a lot of their politics. But do I hate my mother? Absolutely not. That's just insane to think that way. Just
yeah,
just because you don't agree.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, that's the thing though. Um, like when 9/11 happened, how how our country like kind of pulled together, and we were you know for us we were trying to stick together, and there was a lot of people that were very um you know the patriotism was high at that time, and I wish it could be like that again. I don't see it being like that again though, because unless something happens to us that's bad, and I don't want nothing to happen that's bad, but that's kind of how it's been. Is like, it's like that the United States is not going to be the same way as it was then unless something happens.
Yeah. But it's not just
And
here. This
whatever happens, it's not going to be good.
the contentiousness is pretty much worldwide. Like France, their last election, jeez, people are mad there
Did you
at
see
each
it?
other.
It had the same thing that the ours did right at the very end. She's leading, she's leading, she's leading. Oh, wait a minute. Here's a bunch of ballots she lost.
Yep.
They need
And
to fix that whole system.
Yeah,
They
there's
need to
coming.
fix it.
I
They
have
need to
hope.
fix it so that something like it's televised or something. Like votes being counted is televised or something. Like they have to figure out something to where people can vote. One thing, I think you should have to have a valid driver's license or ID to vote. That's one thing. Because if you don't have either of those, then how are they
They're not. They're taking advantage of it.
yeah, like they're not identifying you. Like
I
you
don't know.
can go up there and say I'm Mary Jane Blige and or Mary Mary Jane Blige. I'm this person and not show your ID and then so they write down, "Oh, she voted." Well, that's not who I am. So to me, it doesn't make sense because you can go up there.
dang.
Wow, really, Todd? Are you okay?
No, that was
That was
Scott's
he was blowing
blind
off the patio.
blind
Oh,
guy. Yeah.
Now,
it's like what the hell?
Phoebe,
I thought Scott was tying, or I thought Todd was tying his shoes or something.
yeah, Phoebe's going out to investigate that.
He
That's
makes a
all.
lot of old man sounds.
My 12 pound dachshund with a big mouth is going out to investigate who's outside. This ought to be good.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I just got a
but you guys know
$100
what I
offer
mean.
for these earphones. These are vintage earphones. I paid $5 for these.
Hmm.
I think I'll take it. Offered them for $129, but
Huh.
Everything's closed.
okay.
I had to
Prepare
go
for
make.
the cha-ching.
I had to make sure the gate was closed because I don't feel like playing chase the dachshund today.
Yeah. See exactly, Cindy. Some people showed up to vote and couldn't because somebody else showed up and voted with their name.
So have you guys ever watched Mark Dice? He does a lot of the man on the street and that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, I'm going to investigate how racist is voter ID because that's what they are. That's what the left says. This voter ID is racist. And so he interviewed all these leftist people who were saying that, oh, black people are poor and they can't make IDs. They can't do this. They don't have the internet. They can't operate this. And then he interviews in New York City the same, a couple streets over, regular black people, and they're going, "What the hell are they talking about? I've got internet on my phone. The DMV is on so and so street. I've got to have an ID to live. I work on the computer at work.
Yeah.
They're like, they're like, they're flabbergasted. They're like, we're just regular people, which is 100% the truth.
Yeah.
But you're trying to use a stereotype, which is
For one thing, to have a job, like to go out and get a job, even at McDonald's, you need an ID.
you got to have ID. 100% correct because you got to fill out a
So
99. You have to fill out a 99, and you must have legal ID to fill out a 99.
yeah. So why isn't that mandatory? I don't understand that. Like I get kind of the thing with if you have a voter registration card, then maybe but to have a voter registration card, you get that from the DMV. So it should be like either one or the other, or maybe just ID, so you don't so you could do away with voter registration card, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like says,
Todd.
if my phone goes dead, I don't have an ID. But sometimes,
Tommy says he doesn't care
sometimes
who president is as long as it doesn't hurt his business. I would even vote for Todd, or I don't even care if Todd gets.
Yeah, fishing and picking. I've been in the middle of one of those church things like that. They're not a lot of fun. That's the reason why I don't go to organized churches right now, because of an experience. Um, because of my accounting background, um, I was in charge of the accounting for the board, and little did I know, being the financial person meant you automatically got a seat on the church board, and we had a pastor leave while I was doing that, and we ended up having to make the decision to fire the whole rest of the staff. That makes you really popular at church, by the way.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
churches going
one of
through the
our
process of selecting a new pastor often have trouble.
yeah we had a deacon that was one of our biggest critics of the board, and on and on and on, and something happened, and he ended up with a position on the board. I think he became the head of deacons, which put him on the board. And after about 3 meetings, he had to apologize to the group for being so wrong, because he's like, I didn't know what I didn't know. I'm like, even as a regular deacon, I didn't know what I didn't know. I'm like, that's correct,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't, you don't want to let any kind of gossip or anything out, because you don't want to tear people down for just because you know something that.
Why do
Uh,
we have to pay for annual tags? Mine's like, uh, well, you have to have the inspection, which is like what, $20, and then
I think all of our cars together, we have four. They were about $430, but that includes the state tax that goes with them. The tag itself is only what, $25, but
yeah,
there's
I think our registration is like $80, which my big old Ford, the registration ran out in November.
yeah, there's no Alabama doesn't have inspection laws or anything, so you can just drive whatever.
Yeah, it's cheaper here. I can get an inspection here for like $10, but my boys who live in the Dallas Fort Worth area, it's like $35 to get it inspected there.
So I did like the inspections in North Carolina for one reason. They actually put your lights on that little system and aim your lights every year. So in Alabama, lights are pointed. You there's so many cars out there that look like the Men at Work singer, that guy who was wall-eyed in the '80s. You have cars and the headlights will be pointing all different every way. They'll blind you. But North Carolina was a lot better, because every year they put them on a machine that pointed them where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, I had an uncle like that. He had uh, he was a machinist, and he got some steel in his eye or something way back in the day. And when he would talk to you, you didn't know if he was talking to you or because the other eye'd be looking way off to the right, and you didn't know if he would say something to you, and you'd look at him and go, "Is he talking to me?"
Hey, hey, I'm over here.
Oh. I have 0 aunts and uncles left. They're all gone. That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah, my dad and one brother are the only ones gone. The rest, they were 6 of them, so the other 4 are still around.
Yeah, a bunch of my first cousins are passing away now because a lot of them were older than me.
So fishing and picking, I think they outlawed that in South Carolina. North Carolina needs to do the same. That's the stupidest. Yeah, they give you lifetime plates here for trailers now, but
Yeah, in Texas, it just depends on where you live, whether they require emissions inspection or not. All the big cities, I think, require it. Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, they all require emission tests.
yeah, they actually did something nice here. In Huntsville, they closed down all the satellite offices and they built a new DMV and all that stuff. So when you walk in, you punch on the little screen what you're there for, and it kicks you out a number. And they're like 30 or 40 people, different cashiers for different stuff. And so they just start calling out numbers. The machine, I mean, it's a digitally or electronically calls out numbers. Now serving A whatever or F or whatever. So it's been very quick to get tagged. Last time was like 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah, each year ours go down because the value of the cars go down. So they should. They say my van is the most valuable and the highest tag. I'm like, do y'all know that thing has 200,000 miles on it? Don't want to tell them that because the insurance company has me as working from home and got me on some really low mileage thing. I'm like, just ain't gonna tell them that it's been driven all over everywhere. Now the planes are starting up. So you guys, most of you know, I live right beside an airport. We're the closest one to the main building. There's an air show here today and tomorrow. Um, power flight or something. There's a B-29, a B-24, P-51 Mustang, and a T6 Texan trainer that
Wow.
you can go out there and tour them. And then if you want to fly on the Mustang, it's $3,000.
Nice.
The other
A,
ones are a little cheaper, but
a P-51.
yeah, that thing is sweet, and those things they are worth a lot of money now.
I bet. Yeah, air shows. I went to one once in Amarillo, and about you go to an air show and like 75% of it is boring, but the other 25% makes up for it because it's just so great.
Yeah,
Watching one of those.
there's some interesting planes come through here. They had a Ford tri-engine that came through a couple of years ago. That was maybe 3 years ago now. I didn't know Ford made planes at one point, but they did. And this one had 3 engines on it, and it was pretty cheap. It was $75 to fly on it.
Yeah. You ever seen the Blue Angels? Golly, what a
Oh yeah,
great.
quite a few times.
That's
I've seen it 4
that's
or
a
5
great
times.
show.
They would come to Wilmington every year. We were there. We were there for 14 years, and we were in some of the flight paths, so you'd see them practicing and carrying on. because Wilmington is very interesting. They have the contract. That airport has the contract with with the government for the pilots to fly Air Force One. Well, without the president, it's not Air Force One, but they bring those planes down here and do touch and goes in Wilmington. I think every other week they'll fly around for several hours doing touch and goes around town, and then they'll leave. So it's very interesting to live in Wilmington and see Air Force One circle the city for a couple hours and then leave.
Neat. Well, it's after 9 and I got to pack some orders and go do battle with the Lutherans at their rummage sale. And so we'll be on Sally, the Upside Down Pickers channel in the morning at 8 a.m. Same bat time.
Be doing yard sales. It'll be awesome.
Speaking of
I can get my
Sally,
shipping done.
so I was just saying bye to everybody. Thank you for coming on, and Scott and Sally,
Thanks
and
for having it. See you
thanks
tomorrow,
for
guys.
everybody in the side chat. Thought we had a good talk. Good talk. We got political, but not too political.
Right?
That's a good thing.
We all still love each other. It'll be all right.
Well, there's a difference between political and then just talking about the current situation. There's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Nobody railed on people. We hate you. We hate you.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's no hate. There's no hate in reselling. Or is there?
That's right.
Not
Like
on
no
this
crying
channel.
in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball. There's no hate in reselling. There is crying in baseball. Crying and reselling. Gwen's.
Oh yeah, there's definitely crying and reselling.
All right. Every time I make a bad buy. All right.
All right, see you, everyone.
Bye.